Salut, je suis Dadbeats, et bienvenue sur ma chaîne pour une nouvelle vidéo. N'hésitez pas à liker et laissez-nous en commentaire votre avis. Si vous tombez pour la première fois sur nos vidéos, abonnez-vous et activez la cloche de notification pour chaque nouvelle vidéo. EQ paramétrique. On utilise un EQ pour amplifier ou réduire la plage de fréquence d'un signal. Il est utile pour résoudre certains problèmes comme: premièrement, supprimer des résonances dues à un mauvais placement de micro. Deuxièmement, pour rattraper l'acoustique d'une pièce. Et troisièmement, pour mettre en forme certains sons, comme améliorer la clarté et la présence d'une voix. Un EQ paramétrique, parfois appelé filtre de crête. Un EQ est constitué de boutons de volume qui agissent ou modifient sur les fréquences selon un mode de filtrage. Il existe différents types de filtrage. Filtrage plateau, shelving filter qui présente sous la forme low shelf pour les fréquences graves et high shelf pour les fréquences aiguës. Filtrage en cloche, bell filter. La fréquence centrale est au centre de cette cloche. Et par conséquent, c'est elle qui sera le plus amplifiée ou atténuée. Tandis que les fréquences autour, diminuent en fonction de la valeur Q. Les filtres de coupure. Un filtre de type low pass ou high pass. On va ouvrir notre logiciel FL Studio. La voix est en anglais, et les sous-titres sont en français. Suivez ensemble.
Okay, I like this one. I'm gonna set the project to 160 to match the sample here. Make sure it's assigned to the same channel here. Alright, so we have a bunch of presets to select from. If you right click any of these arrows, you get a preset selection here. All the custom ones you save are up here. So this one's great for making filter sweeps, for example. If you wanna, I usually throw this on things and cut off the lows pretty easily, just to make sure my mix is clean and sounds great compared to everything else in the track that's going on. So, quick example, if you want to automate these things, make sure you keep track of what moves what. In this case, these knobs controls frequency of the filter. So if I were to make an automation here, then it could be just continuous there. Then we can reset to default by right clicking and choosing default. That wasn't in the right place because I think I messed up my default preset somehow. So Alt clicking a band resets it to its position. So what we could do is make slopes with the high pass here, for example. Normally I'd set this to the lowest band because we want to keep every other in view. So low pass, no, whoops, wrong. I'll do a high pass here. Then we have this order that shows you different kinds of slopes you have. So this one's pretty soft. It's not going to be that noticeable, like the steepness of how much decibel it cuts, because it goes down all the way to minus 48 decibels. And that would be steep 8. This is the steepest cut you can do in Parametric EQ2. And then we have gentle 8, which is a gentler curve, still minus 48 decibels. And in this range from 2, this is the center one. This is minus 12 decibels. So from 2 is minus 12, gentle 4 is minus 24, gentle 6 minus 36, gentle 8 is minus 48. So this is your center, and steep is just making the curve more steep, basically. So for example, we see all these frequencies. You can even choose your view or the metering you choose to. So this is a high quality one, which shows frequency plates, or which frequencies have been played over time. So it's easier to notch out things you don't like, for example. Say I want to notch out this. So an easy way you can, if you lock a key, say order key, let's go with something like this. All right, we want to notch out these frequencies. They're not really on the right hertz for this key. Doesn't matter, I'm just demonstrating. So if you hold in shift, click a band, it's locked in place. Moving your mouse left and right changes the band. So you can make it a notch, make it a wide bell, and still locked in place no matter where I try and go. Which is great for notching out those frequencies without accidentally messing up your placement of the band, like so. And if you hold control, you get even more control over this, since control slows down every knob and every slider in FL. So this is not holding shift, and this is holding shift. This makes it a bit more refined, the movement, so you can dial in those things as you want. So this is high pass, and we have the band pass, which you would usually use in one of the middle bands. Looks something like this. Reset this to normal band. This is the band pass, which basically narrows down the band and either side of this band. So gentle curve. As you can hear, it's not cutting much information off here, it's just narrowing down the information down to where this band is placed. So you can make it even steeper, as you can hear. Compared to that, it cuts out more around it. For example, I want to compare what this position sounds to maybe this, and you want to have an easy way to compare positions, or comparing what sounds the best relative to your other sounds in the mix. So one easy way of doing that is using the state or the save states. So by pressing this, I'm saving this position in state. By moving up the band, I can compare what this sounds like to the other one, which is saved in state, which I can flip to and from by doing this. Say, for example, yeah, this one sounds great. What if this is here? I can still go back and compare to the other one that's unchanged. Then you can even choose to lock spare state. It allows it not to be modified if you for any reason would want that. So let's see. This isn't in place. Down here, bandwidth of all the bands, which you can also access by shift. Frequency. I don't think anyone would ever use this better than this, or in this way. Also, when you held shift and click one, or click the band, you can let it go of shift and still be able to make changes without it sliding out of place. It's pretty neat. This band keeps moving up for some reason. Different monitor types, no monitoring at all. Then we have input, and then we have output. Changes back to normal. Legacy monitoring is just what it looked like before they've added the new Parametric 2 updates. Let's see if we can. So if you have output selected, you see what you've taken away basically. So if I re-add these, see how much I'm cutting out from the low mids. Without that, it's just showing what the unprocessed sample looks like, what it looks like going into the Parametric EQ2 in this case, like so. Other than that, there's not really much to talk about the Parametric EQ. You have all your filter types here: band passes, high passes, band stop. It's just totally cutting out this region and everything around it. Low pass usually used for sweeping out frequencies below 100, whatever you don't want, and hi-hats, cymbals, and such. Peaking is a regular one for yourself control the volume of things, up and down both. Key, if you really want to tune your things according to key. Great tool. I didn't have this before the update. And then the gain of all the bands, for example, like so. So another way you could use Parametric EQ2 is by using it as a gain controller, almost, in case you want to keep your faders intact, want to keep your samples intact, or I mean, you still want to be able to mess around with the volume without messing up any volume automations. You could do a volume automation through here, like so. Given it's not as effective, since that effective for